Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Misadventures of Minifer. I'm aware it's been a while since I last did one of these. Life has happened, things got in the way. This one will be funny, so stick around. A couple of weeks ago, he had a wobbly tooth, which inevitably fell out as his adult teeth were growing in. And so the tooth falls out, and I put it under his pillow, as one does when one plans on being the tooth fairy. And imagine this is his pillow here. Right, so I'd put the tooth roughly here. My reasoning behind all that being I could, creep in, tooth out, pounding. Bob's your uncle, in and out. But when I went in to Tooth Fairy for him, he had his head right there and his hand under the pillow. So I was like, okay. So I didn't even bother trying to get the tooth because I knew that would wake him. So I just slipped the pound under the pillow and then left. And he'd been poorly and he'd not been in school when his tooth fell out. But we got up the next day. It was a weekend day. And what can you guess what the first thing he said to me that morning was? If you were thinking, oh, morning, mummy, you were wrong. The first words out of this boy's mouth were, Mummy, the tooth fairy is such a moron. Like he had the whole weight of the world on his shoulders and he was just so sick of a shit. And I was caught off guard. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, yeah, she's just such a moron. So I'm like, okay, walk me through this. What did she do? And so he went on to say that she'd left the money, but the tooth was still there. And so I was like, oh, tooth fairies are very clever. She probably knows you've not been well. And she didn't want to risk waking you up. So she's probably, she might collect the tooth later today while we're doing something else. Which he accepted. But it just caught me off guard, the way he was like, Mummy, the tooth fairy is such a moron. Like he has just reached the end of his tether and he is sick of the tooth fairies.